Because the people really don't know how to find that besetting sin. They don't know what to do. Give me something to do. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. We are so geared to complying with the world. But that wasn't his message. His message was love. Absolute love. So, laws had to be obeyed. But he was trying to shift their payoff from an outer world to an inner consciousness. And you wonder, some of them said this is the Christ, and some of them said, who is this man? You wonder how they really could have understood what he was saying from the level of consciousness that they were coming from. I asked Spirit last year to give me a song for the Metaphysics of Christmas that represented how they must have felt. And that's when I just got that little gentle refrain, and we added it to the program. And it's, who is this man? And the words were, in his hands there is love. In his heart there's compassion like I've never seen. In his words there is truth. And in his eyes I see God. And that is the energy, that unexplainable energy that allowed them to receive the message without understanding how it was going to profit them. All I know is I see God here. And I can't tell you a 1, 2, 3 formula of how it's going to benefit my pocketbook, benefit my career, or give me more children on this earth plane, whatever it was they were looking for. It was simply an experience of being loved. And we know the difference between looking in the eyes of the law and looking in the eyes of love. Every one of us as children, when we were children, going to the parents. And parents were in the moment of the law. And you have just violated the law. The look in your parents' eyes is very law-filled. You know, it's very much, you know what? You violated the law. And you know it. And you know you're going to reap what you've just sowed. But then each of us has those moments with our parents where we've experienced something, or we've had something go awry in our lives, and we come to them and we see the eyes of love. Where the parent looks at us and says, you know what? You're far more important than what you're going through. You are more important than these outer experiences that the world is telling you. And in that moment, your value transcends who you are in the world. And you are filled with love. And that's what Jesus brought to the people. But he had to bring it at such a small level. You know, oftentimes I teach our psychic development group, and they come in and they want to do it the first night. It's like, you know, guys, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. I need you to do it A, B, learn the alphabet first, C, and I remind them they're kindergartners. You're kindergartners. We need to learn the alphabet before we learn to spell. And he gave them the pattern, but then he had to take them into a means of applying it that they could understand. So he laid the foundation of shifting the payoff, then he went to teach. And the teaching in the Beatitudes has been, you know, just become, we would think, a foundation in our Christian theology. In theory, I shall say. It's become something that's spoken of all the time, and so I wanted to share just a few of them with you. And I think the Beatitudes were given because they simply could not understand how to purify themselves. Simply could not do it. So Jesus says, "Worthy are the strong in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom." Worthy is that person who is committed to spirit, for they can access the consciousness of God. Very simple. Worthy are the meek, for they shall possess the land. And in that culture, if a man of wealth died without an heir, his land was given to a male of low status that had good consciousness, and they called them the meek. And that's where that came from. Worthy are the meek. Those who live in good consciousness, no matter if they're wealthy or not, they will inherit the land. And everybody knew exactly what he meant. Yes, they do sometimes. Because it couldn't go to the man's daughter. Had to go to a male. Worthy are they who hunger and thirst for right, for they shall be satisfied. When we seek, we find. So he's telling them, be committed, be honorable, and seek. Whereas their world told them, do your job, shut up, and don't ask for too much. Is the world different today? Yet, do we, when we are challenged, go back to being strong in spirit? Do we go back and remember, I am committed to God? I am strong in spirit? I shall be good no matter where I am, no matter where they put me, wealth or not. I shall be honorable. And I shall ask for more. I shall thirst for goodness. These are still really good guidelines. Worthy are they who have gained mastery of self, for they have the key of power. When we rise above the outer being more important than the inner, when we look at ourselves in the mirror with the law of love instead of the law, the eyes of love, spirit of love instead of the spirit of law. Worthy are they who are maligned and wronged because they do right. Their persecutors they shall bless. You know, when I was a little child and I read that one, and I read, be not discouraged when the world persecute and curse you, but be glad. I went, not so eager for that one. But in our world today, does that not still happen? But it's not that we get drug out and beaten and thrown in jail. It's that we are challenged. Our spirit is challenged. I had one of my students, my seminary students, you know, I'm always giving them homework assignments. And they had to find a higher wisdom and higher understanding the other week. And one of them, who works for a company in Atlanta, and she's been there for quite a while, and their headquarters is in New York. And she's great. She's very thorough, they love her. She does really good work, and she's gotten commendations from the New York office many times. She implemented some program that New York loves so much, they made all their branches start doing. So she really was in good standing. And her boss loves her. But her boss pulled her aside the other day and let her know that she could not be promoted because the people in New York think she's too nice. So her realization was this: everything I believe in is about kindness. And I won't change myself to get a promotion. And it means that she's going to be looking for another job. Love her, but they don't value her. They love her, but they don't value her. Everything in her life that she believes in is about kindness. You know, I've read some of the early Christian writings that they wrote to their persecutors, and they were multiformed. And they said, why do you persecute us? We live among you. We work with you. We're your carpenters. We're your bakers. And yet you persecute us. We haven't pulled away. We don't call you bad. We love you. What is it that we do that is so bad? And that is the world not honoring the love. And that is the challenge that all of us still facing into this day. We are taught to follow the worldly way, to get the payoff of the world, to get the promotion, to get the quick fix, to get the money, to get whatever we think it might be. And yet our souls, the kingdom of our souls, asks us to do something different. It asks us to love.